So this time I'm going to show you all how to make candied jalapenos. As you can see, I got all my jalapenos ready to go. We only need about a pound of them, but I'm also going to make some stewed tomatoes or some like rotel type tomatoes with the jalapenos. And then the orange peppers I am going to just dice and freeze for future use. They were on sale yesterday, but I don't have any recipes this week to use them for, so I'm going to go ahead and freeze them and get them ready so I can just, when I need them, thaw them out and use them. So I'm going to start chopping the jalapenos, and we will go from there. I got my canner ready and sterilizing bottles now. So we're also going to make sometime today, we're going to bottle homemade apple cider vinegar, and so it's been fermenting for 2 weeks. So that's another thing we're going to work on. All right. We're going to get started with making the juice for the candied jalapenos, also known as cowboy candy. So what I did is I put in 2 cups of sugar, just white sugar, 2/3 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic, 1 teaspoon of celery seed. I'm not going to put that much in because I'm not a fan of celery seed, but it helps to flavor it. So I'm just going to do like 3/4 of a teaspoon. Then we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of ground turmeric. Everyone pronounces it different. So 1/2 teaspoon. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. But we like red pepper flakes, so I'm just going to pour some in. Alright, and then we're going to get that to boiling, and then we will slice the peppers and add them in a minute. So I'm going to cut the ends off the peppers, and then I will get back with you to show you how I slice them. So, but always wear a glove when you're working with peppers, or you will regret it later. Take it by my word. Alright, so I put several in the food processor, and I'm just... Sorry about that little technical issue. The peppers were too long for the safety to come on, or go off, so that we could get these sliced. So I put it on the biggest blade, slicer blade that I have, and I don't remove the stems or the membranes because we like it a little spicy. So I'm just gonna slice this, and then I will add them to the sauce here in a minute. Alright, so I have sliced the jalapenos. I went ahead and doubled the recipe because I love these so much. I've already gone through 4 jars, and I just made them like 2 weeks ago. So, but they're so good, and I put the juice and stuff, and like put on my scrambled eggs, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So anyway, so I gotta bring these to a boil, and then let them simmer for 5 minutes, and then we will sanitize the jars. Excuse me, so we can get those canned. But these jars are for my apple cider vinegar. So because they go over the top, what I do is I fill the water line up to the top, and then when it boils over, then I know that the bottle's sanitized. So, and then I will have to sanitize these jars, and then we'll be ready to go. One of the things I do while I'm waiting for stuff to process is I clean up and do the dishes, and so that I can be ready for the next thing without stuff being in my way. So just a little tip of just keep your dishes out of the way, keep them clean, keep them moving, so that way you don't have to worry about a big pile at the end. Alright, so I switched out the bottles. Now my canning jars are in there for the jalapenos, and what I do, because so many people make this mistake, is they just put in a bunch of lids and rings, and there's usually more than the jars. So what happens is the lids stick together, and then you end up doubling up, and then that could cause them to explode while you're canning them. So I always do 1-to-1 ratio so that I don't make that mistake. Just a tip. Alright, I will post the recipe on how to make the apple cider vinegar, but I just want to go ahead and get it in the jars. So you take off the cloth on top, and so the apples and stuff, this has been sitting for about 3 weeks now. So I'm going to take out the apples and then strain it to get the seeds out, and then we'll put it in the bottles. Well, here we are. We have the apple cider vinegar. It's going to set for a little while longer. The thing floating around is called the mother, and in the stores it says that's the best kind to get, is the ones that have the mother. So I'm just glad that I got it, and I split it up so it's in both of them. So anyway, this should be good for me in about a month or two. But I've got other stuff ready, and to be ahead of the game, I might go ahead and start a new one. So when this is ready, then I'll just have a rotating inventory. So I will, when I do that, I will record it and put that out there too. Alright, so that's all for the apple cider vinegar. Then we have the candied jalapenos to go, and I will get those in the jars in just a minute. The first thing we do when you're putting the jalapenos in the jars is you just want to do the solids first. And it may not take all 4 jars or all 5 jars, but then what I have to do with this canner is put in a jar of water so that there's no extra space. So you just fill these up, and then we'll put the juice in to fill in the void. Last time I had extra juice, so I was able to can that, and then I just put that extra juice and stuff. I try to get it as even as possible with the peppers, so that you know, I would love to make gallons of this stuff, but it's just such a they didn't have enough jalapenos at the store yesterday, and I'm thinking about starting a garden and growing my own. That way I know where they've been and what's been going on. So, you know. Anyway, alright, so I will finish scooping these out and then I'll get back with you. Wonderful. I was able to do 3 jars of peppers with sauce and then just 1 jar of sauce. So that worked out perfect. So I'm going to wipe down the rims and then add the lids and put them in the canner, and I will show you how to use the canner whenever they're ready. Alright, so this is the Nesco Smart Canner. It pressure cooks and water bath cans, and very versatile. It's also Instapot kind of thing too. So it's all for one thing. But this is the first time I've used it for water bath, so I have to read the instructions, which, yay, I found them. So we make sure it's open to exhaust. Then we start time. Steam water bath. Time. So for pints, it's 45 minutes. And then start. And then it'll spin around, and in about 25 minutes I'll be able to check it, and then press start again, and then it will set the timer for the 45 minutes. It just has to build up steam. Then we're done. So I appreciate your time. Do a thumbs up if you like, and subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.